10, 9.
You want answers? I want the truth!
Get ready for two guys who can't handle the truth.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
But we can. Dave Palumbo, Chris Aceto. RxMuscle.com presents Heavy Muscle Radio. Watch out!
Welcome back to another episode of Heavy Muscle Radio. I'm Dave Palumbo, and I'm joined, as always, by the technician, Chris Aceto, on this, what is it, March 16th, 2020.
It's my one-year-old's birthday. It's my one-year-old's birthday.
Wow, 1 year old.
And I thought the CDC was going to tell us that we couldn't have the show.
That's right. Thank God we don't have to actually be in the same room with each other, right? It only looks like we're in the same room with each other.
Yeah, I'd give you my one-year-old's cold at least, and I'd probably catch your cold from your three little kids under. What's the oldest?
We have a 6-month-old.
No,
Logan's 4, and then we have Shayla's 6. I went to the supermarket today. You know, I was there. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be here. There was a lot of people there. I'm like, you know what? Fuck, what am I gonna do? You know, people are just insane. But you know what? They wanted to like close the schools for 2 weeks. I'm like, they're not going to close the schools for 2 weeks. They're going to close the schools for 2 months, 6 months. People don't understand. This is not ending. There's no 2 weeks of no doing this and no doing that. They're saying that because they don't want people to go into mass hysteria. So they say 2 weeks, and then in 2 weeks they'll extend it another 2 weeks, and then in 2 weeks they'll extend it another 2 weeks.
100% agree.
That's
because
how it works.
people can't deal with, myself included, you saying like, oh, you can't go out of the house for 7 weeks.
Right. People are also a bunch of morons, I got to tell you. You know, I did a video.
Well, Dave, you had Superstorm Sandy, so you had a little, practice run for this.
Yeah, but that wasn't. This is scary because this, you don't know how long it's going to go. I think it's going to be months and months and months, to be honest with you. We're just getting the beginning of it. What they have in China, it's going to take us a couple of months to get to that point. So it's going to progressively keep getting worse in terms of where they're going to restrict people from going. The good thing is I really don't think that they're going to restrict in terms of like stores being open. Like, I think we should be able to. Everyone went nuts with the toilet paper and everything like that, and bought all the supplies. But I was in the supermarket. The only thing really missing is toilet paper and paper towels. They have everything else. Walmart and Amazon are putting in massive orders. I guarantee they got shifts working around the clock to crank out more toilet paper and paper towels. We'll have so much probably in another like 2 or 3 weeks that we won't even know what to do with it all.
Amazon ran out of toilet paper and soap today.
No, I know, because everyone bought it. But Chris, think about it. It's a commodity. The factories are still open. They're going to make more.
Yeah, my running joke. Every single person who asks me, what stock should I invest in? The first answer to everyone, I've said it on the show, is toilet paper. And I said, because it's recession proof and you always need it. And this is a perfect example.
Well, I did a video. I did a great video. I solved people's problems because I did a video. It just went up. You probably didn't get a chance to see it yet, but on how to solve your toilet paper problem if you don't have enough, even though most people have like 6,000 rolls. We don't really use a lot of toilet paper in my house, and because we all use Fiberlize, and the video was that if
is this an infomercial?
It's an infomercial, yeah, an infomercial. If you use a good quality fiber supplement twice a day, you don't need to use wads and wads of toilet paper to wipe your ass. You can use one single little square. Watch the video. You'll laugh.
I'm going to call Guy Sistonito now to see
Guy
if that
Guy will concur with me.
He'd say, I never use toilet paper, Chris.
You don't even need toilet. Yeah, the only reason you're using toilet paper is like just to dab off the little bit of whatever like moisture might be on your butthole there. But the problem is that people are constipated and they have to strain to get the poops out, and then it comes out like in squirts, like toothpaste. So or little rocks. And so they'd have to keep wiping their butt 4,000 times. I'm telling you, if you use a good fiber supplement, you can get one roll. I'm telling you, in my house, one roll lasts weeks.
What's the best fiber supplement to complete this commercial?
Well, here's the key.
I'm kidding, Dave.
Yeah, no, the key is that I tell people, because you can use any psyllium-based fiber supplement. The reason why Fiberlize is so good is that it's the highest swell rate psyllium they sell. We use and swell rates means how much it swells in your colon. And the more it swells and turns to that gelatinous like mass, the easily the stuff slides out of you, and so you don't have those, you know. And it's funny because, you know, sometimes I'll forget to take the fiber like one day or something like that, and the next day I pay the price. I feel the difference. It's complete. It's like, oh, I got to actually work to get this to go to the bathroom. I'm telling you, you ask Guy Sistine. He's my number one spokesman for Fiberlize. You use it, you'll never have to.
Dave, it's ridiculous how many people I run into who use it.
Bodybuilding,
I mean, people
especially.
that's the only people I run with. But you'd be surprised, like people you say, God, he uses it too.
Yeah,
when I was in Kuwait, when I was in Qatar,
yeah,
people told me that they used it.
The Russian, what's his name? The guy came to my studio. I can't even remember. What's his name? The Golem. I don't know if you know him. The Ilya. He's a monster. This guy. He came to my studio. We did an interview. You probably forgot already. I gave him a tub of the Fiberlize when he left. I said, "Here, take this." You drove all the way to my studio. I want you to take a couple tubs of Fiberlize. You're eating him an enormous amount of food. You got to use. He told me that it was like he discovered like Jesus Christ. You know, it was like a new religion, because people don't realize that they're constipated. How hard it is to go to the bathroom. You know, they think they go a lot because they're eating 25 times a day, but they're really not removing all the waste product from the colon. Anyway, I don't care if you buy the product or not. I'm just telling you, you'll save on toilet paper for sure. Okay. Now, I did another video. On the cancellation, obviously, of the Arnold Australia. Now, that obviously we knew that was coming, right? I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, it was you know that Tony Doherty loves bodybuilding, right? I mean, he loves the sport. He loves the fact that he gets to hold this big expo and this show every year. So if anyone was going to make this happen, if there was any way to make the Arnold Australia go on, Tony would have figured out a way to do it. I mean, is there anything even to debate there, Chris? Right?
No, I mean, I'm sure he fought as hard as he could fight and probably felt that he let the bodybuilders down, and, you know, because, you know, he loves bodybuilding.
Right. Of course. That I'm just asking for confirmation, because you and I have been to the Arnold Australia. We've gone to Thai food and we've hung out there. It's a great show. I love it. I love going to Tony's gym. But if I didn't have kids, I would still be going every single year. It's worth the 24-hour flight each way. It doesn't even bother me, because that's how good the show is and how great Tony is as a person. So, you know, this is a tragedy. And I know Tony says they're postponing it. I think it's going to be canceled. I don't think they're ever going to hold it this year. I think all the shows are going to be canceled this year. I don't even think we're going to see an Olympia this year, to be honest with you. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I just told you. You may be right. I just told somebody, texted someone with the initials DF, Derek Farnsworth.
Yeah.
And he told me X show was canceled, and I said, don't be surprised if, XYZ shows are canceled.
They're all going to be canceled.
I mean, and if they have the Olympia, they'll probably be forced to be in a position where I predict that they have to do like a New York Pro, where they say, or a New York Pro Arnold hybrid, where they invite 25 people, who are the best 25 right now,
right,
in the last 18 months. And that's who gets on the list.
You're gonna have to hold it behind closed doors. I made a video and announcing. Obviously, everyone announced it. Tony announced it on right here. You see it on the Instagram. I did a video where I basically, re-announced it, because I have to do that, right? But that wasn't the purpose of the video. So, but in the video, I try to, I even at the end I say, my dad was a big advocator and always told me, try to find the absurdity in everything and make humor out of it, right? So I said, why doesn't Tony just hold the show in his gym? We talked about this together. Why doesn't Tony just hold it in his gym? He's got a great gym with a great black, wall.
What did I say?
You said absolutely live stream it, you said.
I said, who would jump in at the last minute?
Get Kai on stage, you said, yeah. So I do this video basically based on what we were talking about the other day. And I basically said, Tony, do this show. Come on, Sergio's out there already. Leonardowitz is out there. I'm sure a couple other guys can slip through the cracks. Although now, I don't know, I hear they're cutting down on airline flights now. But I said, get them all on stage there and put them up and give each guy who shows up, no matter how they make it, give them 10 grand. And then whatever's left of the purse, that's what you give to the winner. And I said, it would be huge. And it would be hugely popular. I said, it would be like real grassroots. It would like be going back to like when they used to hold the Mr. Olympia, when there was two guys in the whole show. Can you imagine Sergio and Kai posing down against each other? It would have been unbelievable. So people are writing in the comments of the video like, poorly planned out idea, Dave. like there was a reality to what I was saying. Like it wasn't, or one guy wrote something like
those people got to be smoking fiber.
It would have. Yeah, what a horrible idea. How are these people going to get, like, they were like analyzing like everything I said. This is a horrendous, what a waste of my time to watch this video. Like most people liked it, but I'm saying there's a couple of morons who wrote that. And one guy wrote, Nick, the kid from Nick and Strength and Power, said, I'll do a virtual online contest. People could send me, I'll put up my own money, $10,000, and people could send me videos. I said, well, you might as well just hold the best video editor award at that point. How could you judge fucking, people say that's a better idea. No, it's not. You can't judge a contest based on videos people submit. Who has the best video editor? If you would have, if these morons would have seen
Nick's Power and Strength, this is the video.
Right. Well, I mean, it was a nice gesture by him, but
it's just to get more.
It was a nice gesture, but
what it is, it's an ad. It's what it is. It's an ad. It's not an ad for
right. It's an ad for a show. But you know what, Pierre Banal back in the day,
who's going to judge it? He can judge it since he's got,
of course. He's putting up the money, might as well. But back in the day when Pierre Banal used to do the pictures for Muscular Development, he would shoot these pictures. He would Photoshop those pictures. He was so good.
Tell me, he put them on the cover. The problem. He was the first Photoshopper. He put them on the cover of MD, and people are like, "God, you see those pictures of so and so."
Right.
Like,
but he was look like that. He was so good, Pierre, that you couldn't even tell. Like you would. I mean, it really looked like legitimate. Blackton, like, give him more shoulder, give him a little more tricep, and he would do it. So, I mean, it's moronic to judge something from videos that people are going to submit because
you can't even judge a show from videos. Otherwise, Dorian would be like 9th place at a couple Olympias. I mean, you can't judge a video. That's why whenever when we are not at the show, I always say, well, from what I'm looking at on video or pictures, it looks like this guy should be first. You got to be there.
Of course. I mean, it's moronic to even think that would be a legitimate way to do it. But people are morons in general. So I mean, do you expect anything different?
No.
So anyway, it was a tongue-in-cheek thing. I was, it would be great to see it just because it would be fun.
My Instagram post, which I want you to read, was not tongue-in-cheek. It was a dig at. I want you to read it.
I'm gonna pull it up. Let me pull it up on the thing.
Oh, you can with that new.
I can do it with our new technology now.
Great. Ding, 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 ding.
Well, you want to set up.
I love the new technology.
Set the clip up.
Well, I'll set the clip up. Is that I was at the grocery store looking for my toilet paper,
right?
And there was none. And
I'll show you my.
The funny thing, Dave, I was at the grocery store in Maine. It's not a big place. And they say, stay away from restaurants, stay away from bars, stay away from people, social distance. And then I go to the grocery store and the toilet paper aisle has like 5,000 people in it alone.
I'm going to show, I have the video that I took of the toilet paper aisle in a second, but let's talk about your little.
Okay. So at the grocery store checkout, I see the National Enquirer and I said, oh, isn't this the rag previously owned by, or currently owned by the previous owner of the Mr. Olympia?
AMI.
And I said, wow, I don't need toilet paper after all. Coronavirus cures finally found. So I called up Tony Doherty and I said, Tony, the show is on. The Mr. Olympia, the ex-Mr. Olympia promoter himself has said that they have a cure. So we're going to send it over to you and you're going to salvage the show.
Right.
And that's it. Everything's fine and dandy.
Yeah. So you're saying I guess your point is that this was irresponsible of them to put this because there is no cure at this point.
Well, their brand, Sean Roden, God forbid that, rapist stay out of the Mr. Olympia. We are a clean cut business. Look at this. We are the first, I told my 6-year-old, I think it's like the first national emergency. I said, my father's dead. I said, do you remember my father? He said, yeah. I said, he was 85. So never in his lifetime did they call a national emergency. And here's the National Enquirer saying, cures are found. But by the way, we got to protect our brand by not having Sean Roden in the Olympia.
Speaking of Sean Roden.
Of it is insane.
I'm going to pull Roden's up Instagram. Speaking of Roden, What happens with him? I mean, he's got to go to he's got to go to court. Did they cancel court now because it's a big congregation? Think about how many people will be there. Over 100 people.
Who knows? Have to have it on Skype.
They may have to have it. They may have to have it virtually judged. Right? Look at some video evidence.
Nick's Strength and Power has John in these pictures 9th place based on these hotel room photos.
Well, maybe he'll judge it. He could judge it online and give away $10,000.
Abs and thighs. I have seen his abs and thighs look better. And if Ramy was in the show, the back lat spread, even though Ramy can't open it up anymore, the back lat spread, oh gosh.
That's funny.
I'm all coronavirus out. I'm like,
I know. I see.
going into like sarcasm by cynicism by 100.
Yeah. No, I know. We're just busting balls, but
I wasn't busting balls, dude. On the I'm busting balls now. I wasn't on the, you know me, on the ex-Olympia promoters headline.
No, you're right. It's hypocritical that they're worried about Rodin's the reputation, but they're going to put up a But they that magazine, the National Enquirer, always put those crazy headlines on. That's why I don't even take it with a grain of salt, I guess. Let me. I want to pull this my clip up. Hold on a second.
What else you got there?
Hold on. This is funny. All right, here's my supermarket aisle.
Yeah, there's no.
You see this?
Yeah, what's it? That's empty. The guy looks like he could use some fiberlights pushing that cart.
Hey, wait till you see this sign. This is funny. So the supermarket is fully stocked aside from this toilet paper aisle, and then they have like limit 1 per family. Now, let me ask you this question.
You should go in and just stock the shelf with fiberlights right there. Just throw it on there and say you only need 1. If you buy this product, you only need 1 roll of toilet paper per family.
Yeah. The ironic thing about the whole thing is that, who needs? What, you can buy 1 roll of paper towels?
So long as they still have coffee, dude, I'm fine. I'll be fine. The minute we're out of coffee, I can't do the show.
You better start. I think my belief is that Amazon and Walmart will rule the world. If they don't already, they will rule the world after this, because basically you're not going to be able to go anywhere to purchase anything. So you're going to have to buy everything online. They're going to have people in hazmat suits, delivering, pretty much everyone will be working for UPS, FedEx, or the U.S. mail carrier, or actually Amazon has their own deliverers now.
Well, maybe the ex-Olympia Promoters magazine next week will say Amazon was the root cause of the Wuhan virus in China. So they could dominate the world.
That's right. Sylvia Brown supposedly predicted this virus. The psychic.
Oh well, did you've seen that? Have you not seen the TED Talks with Bill Gates?
Yeah, but she really predicted it. He predicted that there could be something like this that would come along, that we would be ill-equipped or ill-prepared to deal with.
The Bible predicted it. All you have to do is go look in the Bible. I just saw that on the plagues and locusts. We thought we were out of the biblical age.
Well, we're always really
Did you see on the New York Times the guy who had 17,000 bottles of hand sanitizer? No. This guy got ahead of the curve, and he's out in Kentucky, got in his pickup truck. Him and his brother, they went to every dollar store in 2 or 3 states.
Oh, they brought them up.
Yeah, and then they put them on Amazon for some rip-off price.
Oh, really?
And Amazon kicked him off, and eBay kicked him off. But now the New York Times, I'm sure the Four Seasons must have seen it, right? And said, you got 17,000 bottles? We'll
take them?
Yeah, we'll take them.
Oh, that's funny. Look at this. This is the thing I was telling you about. Hold on a second.
What am I looking at?
See that? Did it come up? Yeah. Sylvia Brown.
Oh, yeah. I don't know who Sylvia Brown. Oh, psychic. Yeah.
She's the psychic. She predicted it. You can't read that. But
you predict enough things, you'll get something right. Ask her for the lottery numbers, and I'll believe her.
Yeah.
Ask her for 3 of the 5 lottery numbers. I'll just buy I'll buy if she gets 3 of the 5. I'll just buy 1, 2, 2, 3, 3.
I think Sylvia Brown, didn't she?
What's that?
I think Sylvia Brown died.
She couldn't even, but she probably couldn't even predict the Arnold results a week out. But Nick's Strength and Power could, based on the video. Based on video clips that he saw. Well, I saw someone sent me secret underground pictures of Ramy, and I think that he'll be 3rd place with Dexter 2nd. But I think that Ramy, based on these pictures, will lose his leg separation during prejudging.
Have you seen this video? Hold on, let me show you this video. Hold on. Now that I'm getting the hang of this whole little thing we got, hold on. Let me see if I can get the right one. Hold on.
You gonna come to my bankruptcy court, Dave, when I lose on my real estate?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's gonna be scary. All right, here we go. Hold on a second. This is funny.
What am I looking at now?
You're gonna watch this video. Hold on, please. Here it goes.
What's that? The ice cream truck? Oh, you all.
Watch. This is funny. It reminds me of someone who's in our industry, right? Totally a bodybuilder. This is good. I killed the sound. I don't think you can hear the sound of this program, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to hear the sound. He goes into his glove compartment with a wad of cash.
He sells toilet paper. Hand sanitizer. Yeah. I guessed it. Let the viewing audience know that it's the first time I've seen it.
Yeah. No, Chris is good. We know. But
Dave, we may have to go to every night on this show because people
do an update report.
No, because people are stuck.
Well, no, it's true. It's true.
They're probably sold out of Seagram 7. I told my friend that Seagram 7, he drinks Seagram 7 to unwind. I said, they're probably going to be out of that and toilet paper with all what's going on.
They got to have snakes to clean at night. This is what I do at night now. Hold on, I'll show you. Hold on a second. All right. Clean snakes at night. See?
Only you, Dave.
You got to do something, right?
You got to play back you got to play back.
As long as I can order, seriously, as long as I can order from Amazon and Walmart online, all the stuff I need, I don't have to ever leave the house. To be honest with you, I think I'm going to do. I have a little, workout thing set. And thank God with that. I don't ever have to leave. I don't have to leave my house. I'm self-sufficient as long as
What's the first anti-aging book? Who's a weirdo? Dirk Pearson. Mm-hmm. Dirk, remember the guy with the? Yeah. Do you remember that? You remember him, right?
Yeah.
The GH guy, right? He was on Merv Griffin like when I was like 15. I was interested in it then.
Mm-hmm.
He said at some point in the future you'll never have to leave your bed. You'll be able to get on, some type of device like we didn't even call it a computer, and you'll be able to order stuff and have it shipped to your house.
He was right.
You'd be like great neighbors to him. He said, he never wanted, and his point was he could take his GH release and supplements and never have to work out. You read that book, right? Life Extension. That was the name of the book.
Yeah, I remember that was the first book, but I didn't. I've never actually read the actual book, but
it's very good.
Yeah,
he's like a Dan Duchesne type.
Yeah, Blackman was like that was one of his like heroes, I think. Right? Pretty sure it was, right?
I was just gonna say, you must have seen the book at the MD office. I was just going to say that.
That's where he got all his ideas for all his supplements, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they were because they stole them right out of I'm sure they were. Right. Yeah. Well, he used to have the other book I used to like too when I was a kid was the Robert Haas. I think it was Eat to Win, which was like
that was a big book in the 80s, right?
Yeah, and I think he wrote for MD for a while. So
he did get those guys. Yeah, he probably.
I think Dirk Pearson's wife used to write for MD.
Oh, really? Who was the Codfather?
Alexander. Codfather. That was Dale Alexander. I read that book too. That was a good book. So me and Blackman were reading the same books. He was just employing people to write the.
Yeah. Well, there was nothing else to do. There was no internet.
Can Steve not leave his house too for 2 weeks, or what's
I don't know what his. Yeah, I don't know what his quarantine is over there.
He'd be at least get the chance to go down the street to 7-Eleven to grab the Times and a coffee.
Well, you know what? I really feel bad for the bodybuilders. I'll tell you why. Because when you're in that obsession stage where you want to be the best in the world, or the best that you can be, you want to be able to go to the gym. I mean, this is scary that you're not going to be able to go to the gym. That they're going to be quarantining all these gyms. Now, granted, if you have like a friend who owns a gym, like Flex Lewis has his own private gym, I'm sure he's going to have his buddies coming over there and training. You got to almost have like a key to a gym. You have to have a good hookup. Now, back in the day, I would have had that.
Definitely, yeah.
But a lot of people don't have that, Chris.
Dave, you would have been in full-fledged panic if you were in like a dieting or bulking, either one, but dieting or bulking phase.
Well, the whole diet thing sucks because you don't know if there's going to be a show. And probably the way it's looking now is a lot of these shows are going to be canceled. I'm not going to say that because I don't know for sure. We don't know where it's going to go. But, initially they said, they closed the schools here for 2 weeks. I think that they're doing that all over the place, right? No school for 2 weeks. Or it's actually 3 weeks because there's like spring break for 2 weeks and they're giving another extra week off. So, my son goes to like a private preschool. So that's open. It's like daycare basically. So I'm like, we might as well just send him. My wife's like, well, everyone's saying not to send him. I said, the schools are not going to be open in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I said, it's going to be 3 months, 6 months. This is not going away. It's going to get worse before it gets better. It's not getting better in 2 weeks. And these quarantines are ridiculous, Granted, there's no reason to expose yourself purposely to this virus. I think what they're trying to do, Chris, is they're trying to develop a vaccine as quickly as possible, which, how the bureaucracy crawls. And they figured the longer we can avoid people getting it, maybe we can get them a vaccine in time and immunize some of these people. But everyone's going to.
Yeah. So, Dave, why not just let everyone get it? I mean, what's the benefit to the quarantine, I guess? Go back over it. You just froze up on my screen.
And the exposed. Here we go. The benefit is that it's delaying everyone getting it at the same time because the hospitals can't handle
to get hospitals to become overrun and then the healthcare system will crash. Got it.
I did a video. First of all, I have two solutions for everyone. First of all, I did a video the other day.
George Carlin's solution. You got to bring that.
They found that zinc is okay. The way the virus replicates. Okay, I should probably let me pull up my visual aid here for you guys. The way the virus replicates is a virus attaches itself to our cells and it injects its RNA material into the cell. And then it uses the protein synthesis machinery in the cell, our protein to replicate itself. So it's using our cells to make more of itself, right? So here our immune system is trying to eat this thing up and it's making tons and tons and tons more, okay? They found that zinc is actually toxic, kills this enzyme that replicates it. And the enzyme they call is the replicase enzyme. So inside our cells, when the coronavirus injects itself, the replicase enzyme is what helps replicate it. Zinc will inhibit that or block that replicase enzyme. The problem is that zinc is a positively charged ion. And if you remember back from your biology days and biochemistry days, positively charged ions can't get into the cell. Okay, negatively charged ions can go into the cell, right? Your chloride can go into the cell, but sodium has to stay outside the cell. I mean, that's how you create that gradient. Same thing with zinc. Zinc is a positively charged ion. It doesn't get into the cell that easily, but there are substances called ionophores, and these ionophores will open up channels that allow the zinc to pass through into the cell. One of those ionophores is quinine. Okay, and quinine we know. Okay, or I've talked about it before, you probably know too, is that it's found in tonic water. Okay, a lot of people get clenbuterol cramps. It's because their electrolytes get messed up. Well, quinine will help equilibrate that and let the electrolytes get into the cell and usually balance that off. So if you take quinine with zinc, it will actually act as an ability to push the zinc into the cell, and it will block the ability of this virus to replicate.
What you need? I just wrote it down.
Okay, so you want to take zinc with quinine. So go buy diet tonic water, which I forgot to buy today, by the way.
No, this wasn't the same This wasn't the same formula that was on the cover of the National Enquirer when they had
No, I actually went, rather than get the tonic water, you can just go buy quinine pills from Amazon. By the way, they still have them. Maybe now that I did this video, they won't have them anymore. But
okay, I'm writing everything down like a school kid. Amazon.
I'm gonna pull up a really cool graphic that I found, and I didn't make this graphic, but I put it in the video just because it really helps explain the thing. Hold on a second here. Oh wait, this is not the right video. Hold on. I did so many videos this week. It's my video. Is it safe to go to the gym? You got to watch that one. That's where I have all the. All right, here we go. I'm going to show you this. This is going to this might freak you out from school, Chris. So don't get crazy.
Oh, I forgot everything, so it can't freak me out. Okay. I'm like a clean slate. I'd flunk everything right now. I had to go back to school and do a review. I'd say, do you have Google?
Yeah.
Can I use my Google? Like in the old days, they'd freak out if you used a calculator in a math test.
Right. All right. Look at this little graphic I have here on my video.
Got it.
And you can see the zinc molecule that's circled, right?
Yeah.
See that right here, the zinc?
Yeah.
Zinc has trouble getting through the cell membrane here, but the quinine can help do that, but the zinc will inhibit this replicase enzyme here. And by doing that, it will prevent the virus from replicating. And because the virus can't replicate, then the immune system can eat it up faster. Okay? Mm-hmm. Makes sense? All right.
How much do I need?
Not even a lot. Like you could take V-Mineralize, my vitamin mineral mix, and there's enough in there. It's like 40 milligrams is per day. You don't need a lot of it. It's just you got to get the zinc into the cells. The key is using a chelated form of zinc, which is a zinc like bound to an amino acid like zinc aspartate. You don't want to use like zinc chloride. Those salts, when you bind minerals to salts, they don't absorb really well. Okay. So that's why I think the V-Mineralize is, if you're using it already, you don't even have to add any zinc. Just take some quinine. The form of it they used was the prescription form, was just chloroquine. I think it's chloroquine. And they were giving 500 milligrams per day. And they were doing this, Chris, believe it or not, in Japan. And they found that in Japan that they're handling this epidemic a lot better. They're not having as many cases, people getting over it faster, less people are dying, way, way less than are dying in, like, say, Italy. So, and that's because they're instituting this therapy in Japan. That's where I got the information from. So that's interesting, information. Now, you don't have to do this until you get the virus. So, I mean, you can do it prophylactically, but if you have symptoms of the virus, you do this. Now, the other thing that you can do was sent to me by, Bob Goldman, Dr. Bob Goldman. Talk about life extension, right? He's the one who started the life extension society right here, or anti-aging society here in the United States. And Dr. Bob and I always talk. So Dr. Bob sent me this video, how to kill the coronavirus, which is really interesting. I'm going to show you this now. All right, hold on a second here. Let me start this. There it is. There's my graphic. Now, the coronavirus is actually very, very sensitive to heat. It's good at cold temperatures. So being in Florida, I probably have an advantage in that sense. But there's a technique that they use, okay, to kill viruses. It was written in this book. Let me skip ahead here. Hold on a second. All you need is a hair dryer and a spray bottle. And this is what you're going to do. Step one, you put the blow dryer on. Hold on.
It's like killing bed bugs. Same thing.
Yeah. It's Conquer the Common Cold and Flu. It's a book that was written here, so no one's making this crap up here. Here it is. The Cold Arrest Procedure. It's called. 1984. They wrote this. Dan Lee, PhD, wrote this, and basically it's 3 steps. You take your blow dryer, you put it on low. Cup your fingers over the intake just to slow down the airflow a little bit so it's not blasting in your face. You spray water, okay, onto your face and nose, okay, every once in a while just to keep it cool. The hair dryer is very warm, okay? At 133 degrees Fahrenheit, that kills this virus. And most of the virus they're finding sits in your nasal cavity because it can't live deep inside you because it's too warm in there. So if you suck in this warm air 5 minutes a day, twice a day, okay, they say it's as good as preventing you from getting the virus. If you have a functional or functioning form of the active virus, you do it 5 times a day. And you will kill the coronavirus effectively. Because they say that 80 or 90% of it is in your nose, your nasal cavities, and your mouth. So interesting, right? And that came from Dr. Bob. So Dr. Bob's not he's not a
wacko.
Yeah, if he sent this to me, you can bet your bottom dollar that it works.
Well, you know what? Now the ex-promoter of the Olympia is going to be saying, "See, there are viable cures out there."
Well, you know what they
can
do?
Cures, not cures.
Why don't they just hold the Olympia in
the
Qatar?
They have
outside in the 133-degree heat.
Because Qatar's like we got out of there just in time. It's like laden with coronavirus now.
Is it Qatar?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they should turn the air conditioner off and just let everyone heat this virus up, and it'll die. No, you hold it outside. We hold it in the desert. Vegas is perfect, right?
Yeah.
Make it a little earlier this year. Put it in July. You know how hot it is there in July, and do an outdoor stadium there, and just have the sun blasting. No one will get coronavirus. That's for sure.
Speaking of heat, you got that email, a text message about us heating an apartment for bed bugs and melting everything, right? That's when I was at the Arnold.
Yeah.
And I was like too busy with the Arnold. Guy said, bad idea. We melted everything in this apartment. Everything just wilted them.
Thank God it wasn't. What's his name? Phil.
I had bed bugs, and
you do have a lot of bed bug problems. I will give you that.
It's worse than the coronavirus, dude.
Yeah.
And we heated an apartment instead of getting the exterminator.
Right.
So we heated the apartment like
with what? What did you use? Like a bonfire?
No, you use like a giant machine comes and you put it in the window and
a giant hair blower.
Yeah, that's what made me think of it. But the everything, all their furniture, because it's all like
what kind of furniture do they have?
Cheap shit, but
like
plastic? Stuff with melamines or whatever the fake wood. Everything just shrunk. The ceiling fan went like this. Shrunk
really?
Down to yeah.
Wow.
And I just wrote it. I was at the Arnold. So
how much did that cost you?
It was like $1140.
11,000?
No, 1,100.
Oh.
The ceiling fan's like 129.
So let me ask you this. I know you got to be stressed out. I know you're trying to pull this out, Palumbo, and see the absurd and everything and laugh at it, but you rent a lot of apartments and a lot of buildings to restaurants and all these things. You have Airbnbs. I mean, you got to be freaking out. I mean, because you're not going to be collecting rents and stuff like that. I mean, what
this is my cancellation Airbnb, Dave, in one day. Look at this.
How many?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Do you have to give back the money?
25 different dates.
And do you have to give back the money
today? No, you don't get the money till they check in.
Oh.
So I never saw the money.
So you lost 25 check-ins today?
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remember the World War II masks, like the gas masks?
Yeah.
I'm going to put one of those on, and I'm going to go into the bank on Monday.
Rob it.
No, I'm going to say, I can't pay the mortgage. Try to scare them into.
Yeah.
I got a restaurant that I get 1, 2, 3 restaurants that I rent to.
Wow.
That.
They're not letting people in restaurants, right? Aren't they closing all the restaurants?
In Massachusetts, we're 100 miles away from Massachusetts. They ordered all restaurants closed.
Wow.
So,
is this going to bankrupt our whole system? I mean, think about it. How did the business sustain? How are they going to survive? Unless the government starts providing support.
They have no these restaurants, if you went in, you'd be impressed with how busy they are.
Right. You probably can't get a table if you want.
No, you can't. But the overhead is absolutely insane. Right. Between I mean, just the overhead for one of these places is insane. The daily income is incredible.
Mhm.
The outflow is incredible. What's left over, which is not a lot, goes to the owners,
Right.
who generally also work there 8, 10, 12 hours a day. So I don't know what they're going to do. If they're either going to go, they'll either hang on, they'll either go bankrupt, or if for some reason the state like Massachusetts says you must shut down,
Right.
then there may be some emergency funding for them. There may be some type of bridge, something.
The problem is it's not going to be a month. You know, everyone's saying 2 or 3 weeks. You know, but I really believe it's going to be like till the end of the year. I do. I think like 6 months we're looking at. Hopefully, as Trump would say, when the summer comes, it'll just burn off, right? Isn't that what he said?
Yeah. He says these things have a way of working themselves out. He has a good feeling. He said he had a good gut feeling that it was just going to go away.
Well, maybe he might know something that he's not releasing yet, as far as cures or stuff like that goes.
Well, he did make. I don't know if you saw it in the New York Times, which Republicans would say the failing New York Times and the enemy of the people. But he found out that a company it's in today's paper.
Mm-hmm.
A company in Germany is working on what's it called? And not antidote, but a
vaccine.
Vaccine, and it's the company that's most promising.
Mm-hmm.
And
I heard the Israelis have a potential cure
too.
Yeah,
they're second most promising. They just shut everything down, by the way, yesterday.
You know what they should do, Chris? They should put up a crazy reward.
Well, Trump said, "I'll give you $1 billion for the $1 billion."
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he said right off the top, the U.S. government will give you $1 billion, which is
that's great. That's smart.
But the Germans went nuts.
Why?
Because they say that's our hard work, and so Trump just wanted to, brand it. He wanted to buy it and probably call it the Trump vaccine.
Yeah, the Trump vaccine.
And probably get a commission on it for everyone. So it'd be like Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Trump say, I got it. I'll use the government's money.
But you know what the truth is? The Germans are probably worried because the German researchers will probably go and sell it to Trump for $1 billion. I would.
Where was Einstein from?
From Germany, yeah. We stole him.
Who built the first nuclear bomb?
Well, yeah, we stole everyone. But those guys, they didn't want to get fucking killed. They were Jews. They didn't want to be fucking put to death. That's why they left there. It was the Germans' fault. It was Hitler's fault back in World War II.
My point is that they were Jews, but they were Germans too. But anyways, he made an offer of $1 billion. When I thought, God, why wouldn't he just offer like 5 just to like have him just say?
Well, $1 billion is a lot of money, Chris. I think at that point, who's not going to give it over?
I mean, what's that in relation to?
Guaranteed, the deal will be done with the Israelis, not the Germans.
We'll see.
You know what? If I was a researcher,
I'm going to call the ex-promoter of the Olympia because he's friends with Trump, and I'm going to tell him the zinc quinine, and they're going to say, "What's quinine?" We say we use it for bodybuilding for cramping, and we use zinc for to increase test levels. Same thing. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. If you're a researcher in this area, and this is not like a tough virus it's not like the AIDS, not like curing AIDS or cancer, which was really, really, like almost an impossible task. This is a virus that we're very familiar with. It works very similarly to other coronaviruses, which are a lot of the viruses that cause, like the colds and stuff like that. So developing a vaccine is definitely something within the realm of a possibility of happening soon. The problem is then they got to test it and all this stuff.
Screw the testing.
Yeah, just give it out.
That's a different trope.
Just give it out, right? Give it out. Give it to the prisoners. That's what Trump will do, right?
Yeah.
Trump will be like, give it to the prisoners. Well, and then we'll infect the whole jail with the coronavirus. We'll see who gets it.
Well, they did that with syphilis, and
is that what they did?
Yeah, they did that with syphilis. They gave African Americans syphilis back in the day, and
I didn't know
to see if they had a cure. Sure.
Well, they didn't. This is before they had antibiotics.
Before they had a cure for it, they had to infect people first.
Oh.
What about common cold? There's no cure for the common cold, right?
No.
Okay, so is there a cure?
The problem with the common cold is that it changes so often that in other words, when you get a cold, you can never get that cold again. but there's another strain that comes out right after. It mutates so fast.
Okay, Mike, that's my question. Yeah. We're not going to have like coronavirus.
I don't think it's mutating.
It's like the classes in men's physique, A, B, C, D, E. We're not going to have like coronavirus class E. Say Dave just cured with the zinc and quinine ABC, but now there's D, E, and F.
Right. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It's scary, dude.
The good thing is the Israelis were working on something that was very similar, a coronavirus that was very similar to this one already. So they could just take the same technology that they developed to deal with that one, supposedly, and apply it to this one. So they said that they should have a cure pretty quickly. Now, who knows? Who really knows? I don't even know. I don't think it's going to even affect us. I think it's going to be something that future generations will take. I think we're all going to be exposed to it.
Stock market opens in 9 hours. It's going to get smoked, crushed, and destroyed today. And that's going to create infinitesimal amount of panic.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Walmart and Amazon will rule the world after this thing is over. By next year, that's it. They're going to take over everything. I was hoping all the retail outlets will be out of business.
Dave, I was hoping we'd get as many listeners as Nick's Strength and Power, and we would rule the world.
No, it's impossible. He's got us beat by.
I got to work on the seriousness and monotony of the voice.
Look, you know what? He's got a great channel. I mean, he found a niche for himself, and people seem to like it, and good for him. That's all. I just think that people are like sheep, they follow whatever they think is popular at the time. And it is what it is, but I respect people who work hard and are successful, and we break balls a lot, but I do respect everyone who would like to be successful. At first when the Kardashians started becoming famous, Chris, I was like almost like annoyed, because my dad was annoyed by the whole thing. He thought they were like bimbos, and they what are people watching them for? And I'm like, you know what? They got to be doing something right if they're not just making a little bit of money. They're making like a lot. I mean, the youngest one is like worth over $1 billion. So they're obviously working hard at their brand, even though it started out with Kim doing a porn video, and I think that's why people got turned off. She's not a dummy. I mean, I think she's going to graduate law school. I think she went, she's taken courses and whatever. So they're not dummies. I think that they started out that way, or the perception of that was them, but they've taken it to a whole new level. So you got to respect people who work hard and are successful, even if it's not conventional like we want it to be.
There's talk of Ivanka Trump running for president in 4 years with Kim Kardashian as a VP. I'm dead serious.
Oh, really? That would be funny.
You always talk about Instagram. The only one who might be able to stop them is The Rock. I mean, is Instagram followers. The Rock
should run for president. Yeah, absolutely.
And we can get Nick Strengths and Power to promote it. You can have a video election.
Yeah.
The Rock show. I hope The Rock show. Come on. I hope we get this thing all for the sake of everyone. But the bodybuilding too,
why doesn't Kim Kardashian go and pay a visit to these researchers that are trying to hoard the vaccine there?
Right. Oh, to the
why doesn't she go and try to forget sending Trump there? Let's send Kim Kardashian there to convince them to hand over the vaccine.
Dave, see if you can get her, text her instant messenger right now and see if you can get her to do a little plug for Fiberlize.
Yeah, I'll send her a tub of it.
You should.
She could tell us about how much less toilet paper she has to use now that she's using Fiberlize on a regular basis. That plug would cost me $1 million, though. You know that, right? $1 million per post they charge the Kardashians. Can you believe that? And you know what? It might be worth it for certain products.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They have so much, market pull.
It's either that or put it on CBS with 3 million watchers at 4 p.m.
I think a Kim Kardashian Instagram post is worth more.
Yeah, you can go back and look at it too.
Right. I just think it's you get your money's worth from it. I do. So all right. So let's back to bodybuilding. Okay. So Arnold is canceled. The Arnold Australia. You told me that the Arnold Brazil was already canceled. Well, here's a question: will Steve Weinberg, you think, cancel New York Pro?
No, I think that he will. He's a Tony.
He'll wait till the
Because
very last minute.
there's 2 shows. He'll wait to the last minute.
Well, Cuomo said he wasn't closing. Cuomo said he wasn't closing New York City schools. Now he changed his mind in one day.
He would have to be forced physically, possibly, meaning he'd probably say no.
Yeah,
he would say no.
There's enough local New York pro bodybuilders that they probably would be able to get there. If they had
the thing with the New York. Wait. We've seen the New York Pro in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So, and New York's close enough. I mean, he could switch it to Jersey, or he could even go to Connecticut.
Yeah.
And people would still go to it.
No, I'm
all
saying
the competitors would go to it.
Right. I'm saying even if they don't have an audience, but he's got to make money off the show. So if he can't sell tickets, he can't make money. So it's not like advertisers are going to hand him money for the thing if they don't have a show. It's a shame, but I think we're going to see most of the season canceled. And you're right.
Well,
if there is an Olympia, if it gets to that point where, all right, we're in the all clear by, the September when it rolls around, they're going to have to do like you said, an invite. They're going to have to pick, the top 15 guys or whatever and say, all right, here's our Olympia lineup, and then and do that. But the problem is it's the unknown variable of like, how do we know should we start dieting for the Olympia? I mean, does Flex Lewis start dieting at 16 weeks out for the Olympia? Because the people I never post pictures like this guy 4 weeks out, this guy, and I did post pictures like last night. You've been posting a lot of pictures of
and I posted it because the shows are canceled, like Raphael's show's canceled, but I told everybody, keep going. The flip side, dude.
You mean Rafa Brandeo you're talking about?
Yeah. Raphael Brandeo.
Okay.
When you're in contest prep, Milo said it the best. I don't know if there's many people who love bodybuilding as much as Milos. He's one of those hardcore guys. He'll be like 80 and still talking, like us, attending shows, but he'll still be training.
Yeah.
But you give up the prep mindset and you are done. You're done. In other words, it's hard to get back into that tunnel. So even though these shows are canceled, I told Raphael, I told Hassan Mostafa, I told, hasn't been canceled yet, but like I'll tell Jonathan Hambrick and Classic and just people, who are getting ready for shows, that if you get out of that mental mode, you're done. And one of these shows may take off. I mean, if New York Pro goes on, there might be 60 guys in the show and you have to go. Yeah. You have to go. And you can't show up and say like, well, I kind of gave up. It's like the same, you have to execute, Dave. Look, I have 3 restaurants that'll be bankrupt in the next 5 days. You still have to run everything like they're still going. Have to.
What's going to happen with all the guys, and girls that are, looking to do Junior USA, Team Universe, USA, North American, and get pro card? It's like it's going to be like this whole season's going to be a wash almost.
Yeah, I haven't thought it like into the amateurs.
It's gonna have a real big negative effect.
Well, yeah. Look at you know what you say, Dave. Dave, you heard it. Quote yourself 6 weeks ago. Just like you should quote yourself and pull a clip from the radio show where you said,
I can't remember what I said anymore. Yeah.
Well, I'll remind you. You said the Arnold Classic may be canceled. We were kidding about that, but we were serious, but mostly kidding, and it got canceled. And then when I was there, and there were 220,000 people who couldn't go to the expo, I was kidding. And I suppose there goes the NBA. But
you're right.
The NBA, they're not coming back in 6 weeks.
No, they're done.
The virus is completely gone, and
they canceled the season. But you know what the funny thing is? I noticed that Ohio is that. First of all, that governor who shut down that Arnold, he's been doing news conferences every day.
Yeah, he's shut down restaurants.
Listen, I'm saying he's on the ball. That guy. I got news for you. But you know what? I guarantee all the cases that are in Ohio now came from that Arnold. A lot of it.
Dave, I thought of Ohio the other day. Me and Cormier went out to eat on like a Tuesday night. Yeah, Tuesday night, Monday night, Monday night. And we went out late to some place downtown, and I think the steaks were like $100 each, just the steaks, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And it was busy, and busy, and that was before they called the show.
Sure. Right.
And I bet they didn't sell one steak today.
Oh no, there's no one there.
I mean, they'll be done. They'll be done, kaput, and out of business, no matter how deep the pockets are of the owner in 14 days. Because imagine if Species Sales, you said, what are they tomorrow? Oh, none. What do you mean none? That's how hard on the chin restaurants take it.
Yeah. Chris Cycle Lewis just sent me a text message.
What that psycho guy have to say? He loves to text you. He loves to be on the end.
We gossip with each other. Mayor Eric Garcetti took to Facebook Live to announce that he has taken executive action to close all movie theaters, bars, nightclubs, entertainment venues, and gyms until March 31st. Restaurants will remain open, but will only provide takeout and delivery. Oh, well, that's good at least. However, grocery stores, food banks, and pharmacies will remain open. That's good also. The restrictions go into effect Sunday at midnight. So, do you know who Eric Garcetti is? I don't know. What state is he from? What town?
What you just said, LA, right?
I get, isn't it? Yeah, well, I guess that's where Chris is from. So, yeah, that would probably make sense.
The mayor of Miami has coronavirus.
Yeah. He does?
Yeah. They closed a section of South Beach today. The beach.
I wonder if you can get it again. I heard that you could. Now
I heard you can get it again, yeah.
I don't know.
I heard that.
Yeah. You would
it goes right back. Is that Class A and Class B?
Well, if you can get the coronavirus again, and that would imply that the immune system is not building up a resistance, which would be stupid. I don't know. How would a vaccine work then? I don't know.
Dave, so this brings me to this conspiratorial thought.
Right.
Did the World Health Organization get together with those in the know and give them all the info and say, like, this coronavirus, not only do we not have a vaccine, but you can get it and then be cured and then get it all over again 3 weeks later. I mean, because look at extreme measures.
Yeah, it does. I don't think many people can get it again. The good thing is if you get it and you get over it, it's like you don't have to worry about anything anymore, pretty much. I mean, other than people stigmatizing you, oh, he's the one with the coronavirus, right? Because no matter, you can have coronavirus now. In 6 months, you'll still be the guy with the corona. People will be walking away from people who have coronavirus. It's going to be like AIDS. You know what I mean? It's going to be people are going to be worried they're going to still get it from the person who had it 6 months ago.
I rent a condo in Miami. And now they don't want to have renters come in. You know why?
Because they think that it's going to be, you're not sanitizing the place well enough, right?
Well, the alarm bell, I got an email today.
Oh, from touching the doors and stuff?
No. The head rabbi in the synagogue up the street has coronavirus.
Oh, really? Oh, my God.
So wait, this is how crazy it is. They said, we can't have guests coming into the building. And I thought, the first thing I thought of, I didn't know I said, the rabbi lives in the building. They said, no. So I couldn't come up.
Right.
Just the idea that one person.
Well, it's not even that. Obviously, if there's coronavirus in Miami, which there is, obviously, it means that, what if some visitors who are coming to visit Miami bring the coronavirus and then touch the door and then the other people in the building get it? And, it lives on surfaces. So
yeah, I saw that, but not if you have the blow dryer. I'll show up.
Not if it's 133 degrees. Yeah,
yeah. It's so funny because bed bugs die at 130.
They must be related.
Number.
They must be related.
Yeah.
Maybe the coronavirus piggybacks on the bed bugs. Maybe that's how we got it all.
Hybrids. Don't you think that global? You know what I thought of today, Dave?
What?
We all thought. In Miami, they're rebuilding the beach. Like 3 storms is going to shrink down to this again.
Yeah.
In Portland, where I am, Portland, Maine, the tide comes up and it's like this. I mean, it's just there's like 2 more inches, then the whole city's flooded.
Yeah.
Everyone thought that we were going to the cataclysmic event was going to be the rising tides due to the heat, rising temperatures. I think that the rising temperatures allowed coronaviruses to jump from your friendly little snakes you have. Isn't that where they came from? Or rats? Rats to people.
They think that they came from the bats. That's what they were saying first. In other words, there's
Due to
a
climate
lot
change.
of a lot of snakes.
Why did
a lot
it
of
jump
snakes eat
before?
bats, and then these people in the Chinese markets eat these raw bats and stuff like that. And snakes. I don't know. Who knows? They don't really know where it came from. They're all hypothesizing.
It came from Amazon so that they could.
They don't know where the AIDS virus came from. They think it came from monkeys in Africa, but who the fuck
No,
knows?
GH came from monkeys in Africa. We all know that in the bodybuilding world.
The truth is, no, they don't know where this stuff comes. It's impossible to trace where this stuff came from. Well, they can make educated guesses, but they don't know for sure. Who knows if it got let out of a lab by accident or maybe on purpose? I was thinking if it was bioterrorism that someone would take credit for it, right?
Yeah,
they would certainly make a more virulent virus. The virus doesn't really kill that many people. It's putting everyone in panic. Although everyone's giving up their rights pretty easily, right? Because they're in such a panic.
Yeah. That's people always give up their rights in panic.
Yeah. Everyone's like, take all my rights. We don't care. Yeah. Maybe that's a ploy by the government. They don't really want to kill too many people because we need the workforce. So we'll just kill a couple of people, scare enough people to just give up all their rights, and then the government pretty much can run everything, and we'll be just like little, cockroaches, listening to whatever we're told to do. I mean, it's possible. A lot of conspiracy theorists out there, I wonder what Dorian thinks about it. We should get him on the TV show. He probably has a good conspiracy theory about the whole thing. Don't you think?
You get him, or you can get Boston Lloyd. May have some little.
I don't think Boston Lloyd's just concerned that he's not going to be able to get his steroids from China anymore. That's all. That's scary, though, right? Who knows if these steroids are going to have coronavirus infected on them? I don't know. I'm going to have to make a new roid test kit to test for coronavirus now.
Yeah. When is your milligram? That's when your home run comes out, when you can test for the milligrams.
You can do that. The new clenbuterol test I have for sale on the website tests the strength of the clenbuterol now. So that's been selling. That's been really popular. And you'd be shocked.
Because we were talking about quinine and zinc, which prevents clenbuterol cramps. So just tied to all that.
Tied together, yeah.
This is one like infomercial today.
Yeah.
What can I sell? Because I'm going bankrupt. What can I sell?
You're gonna have to sell off everything.
I'll sell that radiator back there. Somebody at the Ono Classic said, who's a heating and air conditioning specialist. And I ran into him. His son was at the show, and he's like, I'm so and so. I listened to the show. I'm like, whoopie-doo that day. Mm-hmm. And then he said, I'm a heating guy. I'm like, you're a heating guy. I love heating and air conditioning stuff. And he said, we would talk about everything. He said, for example, in your house, you have radiators. I said, how do you know? How do you know I have radiators?
Here's us talking about it, right?
Yeah, well, no, he's right behind me.
Oh, of course.
But we went into every single,
scenario.
Yeah, scenario for heating a building that you could think of. And I could, I told the kid's son, I said to the kid, his son, who's a bodybuilder. Yeah. I said, I'm telling you right now, I have a good, I'm not a guru in heating. But if I had an Instagram page as a heating guru, I'd say I was one. I know a lot about heating and air conditioning just from being around it, being around broken systems that have to be repaired and fixed. I said, your father is an expert of experts. He loved that. Yeah.
You know what? I was just thinking, since you stockpile and save all your money, you probably can make it through this next couple of months without going out of business. You probably can snag a lot of good buildings at a much reduced price because people are going to be on the balls of their feet, not being able to pay mortgages and shit like that.
Let me tell you something,
Chris. You should start buying stuff. Forget about selling.
Believe me, if someone out there has, I bought in the foreclosure crisis.
Yeah,
and people were frozen. They couldn't. So. The best opportunities are in times of absolute utter panic, but you need money. Yeah. So if anyone out there wants to be like a co-investor with me,
but we have a friend who probably would do it with you.
Yeah.
You have a couple. You probably have way more than one friend that would do it with you.
Yeah.
Call Jay up.
Yeah.
Jay's got money.
Yeah. No.
Maybe you guys could buy the World Trade Center. I mean, World Trade Center. I meant the Empire State Building.
when the shit hits the fan, people sell on fear, and
Yeah.
the stuff
Maybe
goes
you can
on.
buy Trump Towers.
It's not sprinkled. Can you believe Trump Tower, that building does not have sprinkles? It's not sprinkled. It's
It
a
isn't?
non-sprinkled
No.
building. Google it. I'm dead serious.
I believe you.
The only building I think in New York City. They probably tried to come and sprinkle it, and he said, "Get out of here. I'll sue you."
Do you think the Mr. Olympia competition, the Jake Wood, who's the new owner, and Dan Solomon, you think they're in a little bit? Are they panicking now?
Big time. Big time. Big time. Pulling the hair out.
I feel bad because it's the first year that they have it. That Jake's. It's got.
Sure.
I mean, the good thing is he's one of these guys that doesn't. He doesn't need the money, so he'll probably save money by not holding the Olympia.
Yeah.
Give him an extra year to prepare for it.
I mean, you if things don't get better, you may have to scrap it rather than take the risk of putting on something that we
that was my next question was, do you just cancel it and say, hey, you know what? Let's just do it next year.
Well, you know what? For the legacy of it, you do the show, and you somehow try. Let's say it was this stuff still going on.
Move it to December. Move it to the end of the year. That's what I say to do.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But
and then just do an invite, like you said, by invite. You invite the top 20 guys in the world, and we do it.
Unless people start dying all over the place, you have to have it for the sense of. I mean,
well, they're not going to let you have it.
There's a legacy there. There's the lineal every year, continuous since 65.
Right.
Continuation of the show. So even if you had it with 250 people, you know what?
Chris, they canceled the basketball season.
I know.
I think that's got a little bit more history behind it than the Mr. Olympia does.
Yeah, but the basketball season is 20,000 people in an arena.
Right.
You can still have the show with 250. You can find 250 people to pay $2,500 a ticket and still have that show to some degree.
Well, you can do that with basketball.
There's a lot of people who would want to go see that show. There's 250 people in the U.S. who want to go see that show at $2,500 a pop, $2,000 a pop. Sure. I mean, you go to a Miami Heat game, it's $300.
Sure. Well, you make it like an exclusive thing, right?
Yeah.
Exclusive. At least I want to buy a ticket for $2,500. Steve, you're not spending $2,500, but we have $100 million in the bank. Steve, it's a ripoff. They're gouging you. I gotta go. I gotta see the glutes. It's gonna be a once in a lifetime. Holding it at the Ritz-Carlton. They're holding it at the Ritz-Carlton.
The Ritz-Carlton ballroom, it only sits 250.
It's gonna be what they'll be talking about it for ages. She's like, just sit home and watch it on pay-per-view.
No, because I saw Chris and Dave said you got to be there. You can't really judge the show.
Hey, maybe bodybuilding should go to the same thing that they're doing with wrestling. Maybe they should go to have an app, the Mr. Olympia app, or the IFBB app, and they'll just live stream all the shows. No one will be there though, but except the judges and the competitors, and they'll everyone will pay $10 a month to have unlimited access to all the shows, and you just won't be able to go see them in person. That's all. At least they can hold the shows that way, right?
Yeah, it's.
But I don't know if any of the you think Steve Weinberger wants to be exposed to these bodybuilders and risk getting coronavirus from them? I don't know. I don't think he will.
We'll know in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what? We did say on the show last week after the Arnold that in 6 weeks we would say that was a genius or stupid move to cancel the Arnold Expo.
Yeah. Well, in hindsight, it was we knew it was the right move. No one wanted them to do it, but we knew it was the right move. Are you nervous about the fact that you were out there with all those people and that you
shook all those hands?
Yeah. Are you nervous that you might get it? I mean, it hasn't been 2 weeks yet, has it?
Yeah, I mean, it's crossed my mind.
Yeah.
But now I know about zinc and
you better start taking your zinc and quinine. Yeah, get cracking on that.
Let me check my temperature. I just shipped out a lot of DNP to people too, right? I don't know if I got on my hands and.
Yeah. Look, guys, watch some of the videos I talked about. In terms of taking care of yourself if you do get the virus, because some of you will be infected. Try the zinc quinine method of at least stopping this virus from replicating. Also, you can try the Bob Goldman method. Look at that link I showed you.
The hair dryer.
That video, the hair dryer thing, breathing in twice a day. Even before you have it, as a prophylactically, you breathe in to the hair dryer, that heat, twice a day for 5 minutes. It's like going, if you have access to a sauna, you go in a sauna, it does the same thing. But this is like something you can do at home. And if you actually have the virus, you do it 5 times a day. And I'm telling you, Bob Goldman wouldn't send it. They say that it'll really eradicate most of that virus. So these are things you can do, to be safe. Try to not, get out too much in public. I went to the supermarket today. I got to get food, but try not to, interact with too many people. If you have access to a gym that you can go to, then go to it. Just be, wash your hands a lot and, try not to, get too close to people who are going to breathe on you. I think, what is it? 6 feet? I think that's what it is.
6 feet.
Yeah. Pretty, it's funny because no one talks to each other anymore anyway, right? Everything is just through social media and texting and WhatsApp and all that stuff. Now, no one really will talk to each other. There'll be no one talking to you. No one will hang out. There'll be no social. We'll be completely just, everything will be virtually happening. If you're like you and I are friends, but we don't actually see each other. We just have to be on video camera with each other and text each other all day long. But we don't really actually have any physical interaction with each other on a reality basis. That's the new friendship nowadays. You don't have to live near each other because you don't want to anyway, because you don't know what diseases you're going to get from people. It's crazy, right? No comment from Chris the technician. I think I lost him. Well, this is a good segue to end the show. Guys, once again, stay safe out there. If you got to go to the gym, but just, be sanitary. I'm not saying you should wear gloves, but maybe you should wear gloves. I don't know. Wash your hands a lot. Don't rub your eyes and face. I know a lot of people do that just instinctually. And get your protein powder. Order it in the mail. Go to speciesnutrition.com. Use coupon code A's and Apple Peas and Paul 25. You get 25% off speciesnutrition.com. Free shipping over orders of $100. Get your V mineralized so you can combine that with your quinine, your diatonic water. You can buy the Fiberlize if you don't want to have to use a lot of toilet paper and get a lot of protein and stockpile it. So you got all your protein sources. If I was a bodybuilder, I'd have tons of protein stocked away. So I'd never have to worry about missing one protein meal. And that's all we can do. And we got to just wait it out. Believe me, eventually it will pass and we'll be laughing about it hopefully in a year from now. For now, though, I'm Dave Palumbo with Chris the technician Aceto somewhere in a virtual space right now, probably trying to reconnect. For another installment of Heavy Muscle Radio. And as we say every week, with Heavy Muscle Radio, the truth hurts. I'll see you next week.